2011 was declared the Year of Kingdom Citizenship Authority and ushered in a time of challenge and opportunity. The focus on Kingdom Authority set the stage for understanding the need for submission to God's divine authority and the benefits of kingdom citizenship in our daily lives. 2011 was filled with exciting events that impacted the local fellowship, the community, the Bahamas, and the world.
January kicked off with the corporate fast that saw hundreds commit to consecration and prayer and fasting, which set the atmosphere for the year of miracle and victories. In January, Dr. Monroe was also a featured guest at Oral Roberts University, speaking to over 4,000 students, and then to Victory Christian Center with Pastor Sharon Daughtry. The highlight of January was the establishment and inauguration of the BFM Freeport Fellowship Church, which was a dream come true.
In February, the big event was the National Valentine's Day Love Fest that saw the feeding and fellowship of over 2,000 people. Also in February, Dr. Monroe traveled to Peru, Aruba, Hawaii, and Dallas for leadership training conferences. The highlight of February was BFM's first Law Day, which brought together scores of legal minds to a special awards worship service. What a day that was!
April was filled with excitement as over 2,500 students were impacted by the Word through our annual Cultural Leadership Program. We thank all our sponsors for their support. April also saw the first successful Leaders Marriage Retreat, which set a standard for leaders strengthening their homes.
In May, Mother's Day shone bright, followed by our International ASAF Worship Conference, which impacted thousands in-house and online. In May, Dr. Monroe also traveled to Nigeria to train the government with kingdom principles. What an impact!
In June, Dr. Monroe led hundreds of pilgrims to the land of Israel for the Jerusalem Kingdom Training Summit. It was a life-changing trip for all who went. Father's Day also saw the honoring of our outstanding men who stand as role models to our community.
In July, Youth Alive also brought together hundreds of youth from local fellowships and countries abroad for kingdom training and leadership development. Dr. Monroe traveled to Brazil to train over 5,000 leaders during this busy month of July.
In August, BFM and MMI hosted one of the most successful kingdom training seminars, with capacity crowds filling the Diplomat Center for training sessions on the kingdom. Over 30 nations were represented, and the impact was evident.
In August and September, Dr. Monroe traveled to South Africa, where thousands were also impacted by the kingdom message. The People's Singles Ministry also impacted many, as scores of believers gathered at the Diplomat Center for the exciting annual gathering of singles. Pastor Claudine and her team did an outstanding job.
October saw the introduction of the new project, Real Men National Event, which captured the imagination of over 40 churches and saw scores of men march through the streets of Nassau, taking their message against crime to the center of power, Bay Street. This event made history as it brought all political parties and church denominations together for one common effort. We thank our director, Minister Ethan Moss, and his team for their efforts.
November was the month the world centered on the Bahamas for the 29th annual Third World Global Leadership Summit, which brought together over 70 nations to the heart of Nassau. The impact is still being felt, as over 2,000 leaders were positively impacted by a world-class event. We thank all our Ministry of Helps and full-time staff for their great work in this conference. November also saw the establishment of our Global Missions Conference, where we honored both local and international missionaries. Special thanks to Dr. Eldon Johnson and his team for their hard work in creating this inaugural event.
December of 2011 will always go down in history as the month the world discovered the sounds of heaven, who were introduced at the first BFM Kingdom Christmas event, as over 1,000 people gathered for a star-studded performance by the Versatile Group. Thanks to the leadership of Pastor Mark Bethel, James and Keona Hepburn, and Dandra Scott for their excellent work.
Now we look to a new year, 2012, with great expectations. Know that the King of the Kingdom promises to take us from glory to glory. Join us for a year of kingdom adventure as we explore the commonwealth of heaven on earth. Thank you, BFM, for serving the world with the kingdom of heaven.